Cool. I just have a pillow. If you want to grab a pillow, awesome, or a blanket or blocks, anything you need, your space is yours. And I'll get all set up here and we'll start in a seat. I'll also switch on to my AirPods. Hopefully they are charged.
Great. You can hear me okay? Perfect. All right. So we'll get started in the seat. And whatever's comfortable to you, just sit up nice and tall. You can keep your eyes open or close them, whatever is best for you. And take a full breath in. And just open your mouth slightly and let the breath just find this sense of ease on your exhale. Maybe even you notice that softens the jaw. Again, breathe in. And breath out. And just a few more rounds like that on your own, settling into this moment, knowing that there's like always so much to do, tasks to accomplish, humans to take care of. But maybe for even just a breath or two or 5 or 10, this time on your mat is just for you. So it's something that you're like filling yourself up with. So maybe it is that intentional word that you bring to mind, something you'd like to like generate a little bit more of. So whether that's patience, kindness, energy, grace, resilience, whatever that is, just like bring to mind that word and take a breath in. And again, a breath out, full of ease. One more like that, breathe in. Slow exhale. Slowly start to draw your chin down towards your chest, feel the back of your neck lengthen. Roll your right ear over to the right, find that stretch along the side of the neck. And then you can stay here if you'd like a little bit more, maybe bringing a hand to the top of your head. So your right hand will come to the top of your head. And rather than pulling down with that hand to deepen the stretch, maybe consider pressing the top of your head into your hand and just notice the difference in that sensation. And then once you find that sort of like isometric sort of action here, like that pressing up of your skull into your hand, then maybe start to play around with the placement of your chin. So you can draw it down, draw it up, maybe finding like a little bit of a sweet spot or a salty spot rather, and then pausing there if it feels okay and finding a round or two of breath to bring in a little bit of ease. And then you'll slowly release that hand if you have it. Roll your chin back to the center of your chest. And then you'll roll your head over to the other side. So left ear draws towards your shoulder, but not at the expense of your shoulder lifting up. Keep that shoulder blade drawing down your back. And then you can pause here or deepen a little bit by bringing your left hand to the top of your head, nice and gently. And then to make it more active, press the top of your head into your hand. So you're engaging those muscles, but at the same time, you're finding them lengthening along the side of your neck. And then if you want, playing that like with that dance of where your chin lands in space. So like drawing it up and drawing it down. And just a little bit more movement there. And when you're ready, release. Bring your chin down to the center of your chest again. And then lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift your face here. Feel the front of your throat open up here a bit. And then you'll look straight ahead. Reach your hands up and overhead. Big breath in to reach up. And then just take a gentle twist. Twist to the right. So opposite hand comes to your thigh or to your knee. And then stay here, but then I want you to look over your left shoulder. So oftentimes I'll cue to look towards the back. I want you to look over your left shoulder here. See what that does for the neck. Something just a little bit different. And then look straight ahead. Reach both hands up overhead. Big breath in. And then you'll twist to the left. Opposite hand, opposite knee. Sit up tall on an inhale. Now it's your chin towards your right shoulder. Look in that direction. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then face the front and reach both hands up. One more inhale here to interlace the fingers, flip the palms up, look up towards your hand. And then release them down and meet me in tabletop pose, hands and knees. You can keep that pillow off to the side, close by. And once you're in tabletop pose, just take a little bit of lateral movement side to side. So thinking of your hips in one direction, your head in that same direction, but your ribs go the opposite direction. On both sides. Excellent. And then take your knees a little bit wider apart and maybe consider bringing your big toes towards one another. And send your seat back towards your heels. And then you can either drop down to your forearms and place one hand over the other as a pillow for your forehead, just to rest in a child's pose position if that feels good. And just a moment of pause here. Full breath in. Full breath out. Maybe coming back to that word, that intention as you inhale. Ease on your exhale. And breath in. And out. So nice. And then you'll come back onto all fours, hands and knees. Readjust the knees if you need to. And then drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and start to look straight ahead to find cow pose. And press into your hands, round your upper back, and drop your head. Cat pose. Do that 2 more times with your own breath. A slow inhale to find cow. Slow exhale into cat. And back to neutral. Walk your hands up your thighs and rise up onto your knees. Step your right foot forward. It doesn't have to be super far forward, just enough to find this sort of little bit of a lunge here, maybe a stretch a bit in the front of the thigh and the quads. And then reach your hands up overhead, big breath in. And then a little twist again here. So left hand can go forward. Right hand can start to reach behind you, maybe to feel a stretch across the shoulder. If that's too much, just bring your arms like an L shape. So your right fingertips can go straight over to the right. But as you start to open that up, kind of similar to what we did on the ground on Monday, like we were opening up that book as we were twisting, you can get that stretch across the shoulder here. Take a breath in and out. If you want maybe a stretch in the neck, maybe it's left ear towards the left shoulder. Lots of options here. And then when you're ready, both hands can reach up. Bring your hands down inside of the right foot and tuck the back toes and lift the knee up. Give that knee a break. And then look over to your left. You'll trace the long edge of your mat and parallel your feet into a wide leg forward fold. You can bend your knees a lot and then drop your head. So the goal is not to have your legs super straight and be able to touch the ground. More of the goal is to find that tilt of the pelvis, to let your head be a little bit weightless, if that feels good. To just allow your head to hang. The sides of your neck can rest a bit, and you let gravity do a little bit of work for you, decompressing the cervical spine. Stay for a breath in and out. And start to maybe walk your hands underneath your shoulders and think about like a flat back here. And start to just bend into your left knee. So this side lunge doesn't have to be really big, just enough to shift the weight towards the left. And then start to look at your right foot. You're going to turn the right toes forward and frame your right foot onto the ground. Lift your back heel up. So you're just coming into a lunge. Now you can stay here if you want a little bit more of a twist. So we have a lot of twists kind of like sprinkled in here. Might feel good to reach the right hand up towards the sky and just look over to the right. If that's too much and the back leg wants to drop down, that knee can drop to the ground. Stay for one more breath in. And then reach your right hand forward. Bring it down to the ground. Wiggle walk that foot to a place where you'll feel super supported because you're going to reach your hands up towards the sky for an inhale. Right hand grabs your left wrist and then just lean over to the right. One more breath in to lift up. And then your right knee comes to meet your left. Tabletop pose. Any movement that you need. So whether it's the lateral movement, side to side, if you want cat-cow, just move with your breath. Nice and slow. Nice, and then you'll come back to neutral. We take that all on the other side. So walk the hands up the thighs, rise up onto your knees. Step your left foot forward, coming into that lunge. Totally fine to have a narrow stance. It's kind of nice because then it keeps your pelvis in neutral as you reach the hands up. And then this time it's your right hand that goes forward. Your left hand goes behind you. And like for me, I don't have as much of a range on this side, probably for many, many reasons. But it's just this nice little like sort of feedback to know that you can land wherever you land. And both sides may not look the same. Totally fine. Take a breath in and out. If you want, maybe right ear drops towards your right shoulder. Lift the hands up, look to the front. Hands come inside that left foot, tuck your back toes, lift the knee up. And then again, it's that wide leg forward fold to let your head hang. Maybe this time you shake the head yes. And no. Maybe even open and close your mouth a few times, softening the jaw. Notice if you're holding tension there. And you can walk your hands right underneath your shoulders, almost like a flat back, and then bend your right knee into that side lunge. A little bit of lateral strength here. And then look towards your front foot. Start to turn your left toes forward, shift towards the front of your mat, coming into that lunge. The back heel can lift up. Now the right hand can stay and the left arm can reach up to find that twist. Could feel nice. If it's too much, drop the back knee, and that hand doesn't even have to reach up. It can always even just rest on your left knee here. Take one more breath in. Release that hand down, wiggle walk that foot to find that supportive stance, and then reach the hands up overhead. Left hand grabs your right wrist. Tip over to the left. And come back up through center. Left knee meets the right. Tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the heart. And then exhale, your upper back rounds, fin in towards your chest. And back to neutral. Swing your legs around in front of you, just coming into butterfly pose. So your feet, your soles of your feet come together, your knees out wide. You can hold on to your ankles, to your shins. Sit up tall on an inhale. Feel your pelvis first start to tilt forward, like it was like almost a bowl and you were starting to like tip it forward to pour something out. Tilt forward and then feel your spine lengthen from there. And then maybe start to round. Dropping your head or looking right forward beyond your toes. You're only here for a breath in and out. And then you'll rise back up. Take your legs out in front of you. Give them a little bit of a shake. Make sure you have enough space behind you and you'll come onto your back. Find a long body stretch here. So toes point forward, arms overhead. And then take your arms down along your sides. Plant your feet so they are hip width distance apart. Your toes point forward here and press down through your feet. Just lift your seat. Easy bridge. Doesn't have to be your biggest, highest, most engaged bridge. Just enough to engage the back of the legs. One more big breath in. And then release your low back to the ground. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider. Knock your knees together. Hands come onto your belly. Maybe close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Reconnect with your breath, maybe even physically. Notice how your belly rises and falls with each round of breath. And do just a little bit of a breathing exercise here, pranayama work. If you can just breathe in slowly for the count of 3, 2, 1. And then slow exhale, 3, 2, 1. And do that again. Breathe in, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 3, 2, 1. If you feel like you'd like to create a little bit bigger capacity, see if you can breathe in for 4, breathing out for 4. So we're taking the Samavritti breath. Meaning equal parts, right? So equal inhale and equal exhale. But slow and intentional. Take about 5 more rounds on your own. And just see what happens when we take that intentional moment to pause. Slow down. If even just for a round of breath. And breathe all the way in. Open up your mouth. Slow exhale out. And staying here, or if you'd like, you can start to bring your knees towards your chest or up towards your armpits, and either rock side to side or just find that stillness and maybe lengthening the low back. You can roll out the ankles, fan out the toes. If you're giving yourself a hug here, take one more breath in. And then release your legs to the ground. Let them be long in front of you. Take your arms either down along your sides or out wide to the side like we did before on Monday. Taking up space across the chest, maybe letting it expand. Whatever feels grounding, supportive, take that. And then again, a breath in and out. Allow the eyes to become heavy if they haven't already. Soften the gaze. And just a little scan starting at your toes. Your ankles, up your legs to your knees and your hips. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the chest and the shoulders and the arms, the elbows and down to the wrists. To your hands and the tips of your fingers. Find ease, a little bit of relaxing comfort in the neck and the jaw. And the features of your face, even the top of your head. Breath in and out. And ever so gently, just bring in a little bit of movement. Wherever feels natural, maybe it's your toes, the ankles, the wrists. Fingers, the rock of the head, side to side. Maybe one more long body stretch. You can bend your knees, roll to the side of your choice, and just bring yourself back up to a seat in your own time, of course. Once you're there, sit up nice and tall. You can even bring your hands together in front of your heart and just maybe recall that word, your intention. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And just honor yourself for just showing up today as you are, no matter what that might be or feel like or look like. Whether it's your mind is in a million places, you chose to allow your body to be in one spot to create a little bit of space, hopefully in your breath, in your physical body, and then hopefully some little space, or maybe even a big space in your mind. And take a breath in and out. And your thumb tips come to the center of your forehead, and maybe even lift your chin, lift your face. Know you are showing up as you are and doing the best that you can. Honor yourself again for that. Namaste. Knowing that your best is also enough. That has been like my mantra through